Okay, here we have a very well made, very affordable, very portable Motion Slider 24. I have always liked the look of sliders. It looks very slick, very high production value. The one thing that always got me was sliders, on top of being very expensive, are also huge, 3 to 4 feet, often requiring 2 tripods. And while that may work for a studio where you're in a controlled setting, for documentary and event stuff like I do, it was just way too cumbersome to bring a slider that huge to events and documentaries. So I wanted something smaller, portable, and Motion Slider 24 fit the bill perfectly. Motion sliders come in a variety of sizes, as little as 20 inches all the way up to 4 feet. This one is 24 inches. It fits in most tripod bags, which is very convenient. I do recommend you get a steady tripod for any slider. However, the Motion Slider 24 is fairly light, so most tripods will work with it. However, if you have an inexpensive metal tripod, maybe something that's in the $100 to $200 range, it'll work with the slider. The slider can accommodate a few pounds, so you can use a fluid head on top of the slider. However, I do recommend a very small swivel head, as small as you can find it, because the bigger the fluid head is, the more you're increasing the center of gravity and weight on the slider. Make sure your fluid head tripod has adjustable handles if you're using it on the slider, because sometimes the handles will get in the way, so you want a fluid head that you can adjust the handles up and down. It has 2 holes in the bottom and 2 holes on the top, so it is a 1/4 inch and 3/8 inch holes, which fits most tripods, and a 1/4 inch being the standard screw mount for most cameras. It does come with a screw lock underneath to mount your camera underneath. However, it does not have an adapter from a 1/4 inch to a 3/8 inch hole, which you will need if you want to mount a tripod head on top. So I recommend you buy a 1/4 inch to 3/8 inch adapter if you do not already own one. Okay, this slider is fairly inexpensive. It's only $139 plus shipping, which is a bargain. Usually more expensive sliders will have oil, lubricant-based ball bearings. However, this slider is friction-based, so it's based on your hand movements. The added benefit, though, of using your hand in a friction-based slider like this is that you don't have to worry about cleaning the slider or dirt or residue getting in the slider. Using your hand on the friction-based rails is not a problem at all. I never really had big problems getting the shots I wanted. One of the things I was worried about in buying this slider is if 24 inches was long enough, being that most sliders are in a 3 to 4 foot range, and I'm proud to say that it is perfectly long enough for me. Most sliders, in order to get a very beautiful shot, you need a strong foreground element, so you get the parallax effect of the foreground moving faster than the background. So long as you have a good foreground element, 24 inches is actually more than enough. I found a lot of my shots I was only using half to 3/4 of the slider length. Okay, lens-wise, you don't want a lens that's very heavy. However, this is strong enough to accommodate most lenses in your kit. If you're using like a 70 to 200 millimeter by Canon, that may be a little bit too large, but I think it's doable. Pretty much as strong as any tripod you want to put it on. So if you're using heavy lenses, you want to get a better tripod. And large telephoto lenses with a minimum focus distance that are like a meter out may not work as well. So personally, I would stick with wide lenses or all the way up to mid telephoto ranges. And in addition, if you're in the market for a small slider that's 2 feet or under, I really cannot find a company that makes smaller sliders at all. They make them as small as 20 inches, and I can't find anything that portable or that small. And again, I have no problem using it in a 20 to 24 inch range. I found 24 inches is more than enough, so long as you have a good foreground element, and I can't wait to try their 20-inch micro slider next. And I've used more expensive sliders like the Cinema, and I really have no envy towards the more expensive units. To me, the size, the compactness, the fact that I can fit it in a tripod bag, put it on one tripod, not two tripods, and freely move it around the room is a great benefit. And I find myself just getting more and more shots and more use out of the smaller slider than I would a larger slider, which is just so cumbersome. You can only use it 2 or 3 times per shoot, whereas this one is small enough to actually just use all night long. The only nitpicking thing I could find about this slider unit is that the chases can get a little bit loose from the rails at times, but there are screws on the side that you can tighten it up at, so it's really no big deal at all. You can find this slider online at motionslider.homestead.com. They also sell on amazon.com. You can just type in motion slider 24, 36, 48, whatever size you want. Alright, I like to keep making these videos. Hopefully they're helpful, so please subscribe or leave some comments or questions if you have any concerns. Alright, thanks for watching.